Hey, how's it going? I'm Goose. I'm going to be posting a weekly video for Season 5. Could be as simple as me running through a dungeon, or it could be something a little more like what I'm doing this week. Season 5 began the same way all seasons do, by spending far too long in the character creation menu. Once I finally got out of the character creator, I loaded into the game and began the Season 5 questline. The questline this season was pretty good. It felt like it fit more within the world. It wasn't as out of place as the questlines in the other seasons. So if you're a story person, questline this season is pretty good.
You! Set the fires! The Wanderer is on us!
Everyone be calm! Calm. I invited the Wanderer to be our guest.
Our what?
The questline also introduces hell breaches. The hell breaches were nice to level. I used those to level up until I got to the capstone, but I don't think I've run one since getting to World Tier 4. But anyways, moving on to the capstone. The capstone was a breeze, went smoothly, not a problem. The problem came after getting out of the capstone, going into World Tier 3, and immediately getting slammed. So with that, I decided that should be the end of day 1. Day 2 started off with doing some more of the quest line until I was a high enough level to do the next capstone dungeon. That capstone dungeon went pretty smoothly. I feel like at this point the capstones are kind of a joke. They're not actually that much of a challenge, even when you go into them underleveled. After completing the capstone dungeon and getting into World Tier 4, I decided to start doing some dungeons for that glyph XP. These were going pretty slow, and so eventually I took a break to go do the world boss, which was a great boost in damage with some guaranteed 925 gear from that. And then afterwards went and did some of the new Infernal Hordes. Quick take on the Infernal Hordes. I think it's a good game mode. It's, I think, better than the dungeons, but I've only done a tier 3, so I haven't explored the depth of Infernal Hordes too much yet. For day 3, I decided to stick solely just to dungeons, as I really wanted to get my glyphs and start to get those leveled up. With spending my entire play session just doing dungeons, I think the dungeons definitely need to be looked at, especially with different activities like the Hell Tides and the new Infernal Hordes in the game. I feel like the dungeons are kind of lacking. It would be nice if with the expansion coming in October that the dungeons get looked at and those get some updates that'll help match it more with the new pace of the game. Day 4 was finally the day that I hit level 100, but boy was it a struggle today. It started off well. I noticed in all of my dungeon runs yesterday that arrow storms was the thing that was doing a lot of my damage. I was using flurry, and so my boss kills are really slow. So I decided to switch to try and go full arrow storms. I went out to test it after I had switched all of my gear, and my internet decided to just die on me. Eventually my internet came back, and I decided that I was kind of sick of dungeons, so I went to try and do a T3 horde. But that did not go well. I could not make it through that. And so I went back to T2s and did those for a while until finally I had gotten enough gear and felt like I was strong enough in the T2s to try a T3 again. And wouldn't you know it, I go to try a T3 and immediately my internet dies on me again, and I couldn't complete the T3 because of it. But once my internet recovered, I was actually able to start doing T3s and then eventually hit level 100 while in the Infernal Hordes. And now that I'm level 100, it's time to go farm some of those bosses to try and get some new uniques and test out some of the different builds.